Hello, so I thought I'd make one of these videos, and this is going to be quite a serious video compared to my normal stuff, but because I'm just getting so annoyed with everything, I thought I'd actually do one. And there's quite a trend of videos at the moment that lots of people are watching about, people leaving the UK and everything like that because they hate it here. And my video isn't going to be about leaving the UK. I'm not sadly in a situation where I could easily leave the UK for another country, but I thought I'd explain to people that probably aren't from the UK. If you're from the UK, I'm sure a lot of this will just resonate with you and you'll agree, of all the problems we've got here and what's just so wrong with it. So basically, what we have to do first is go back that we've had, I think it was 14 years of Tory government that was absolutely awful. And the main problem we've had is that for that period of time, almost nothing that people voted for has actually happened, when it's come to why you would vote for a party and what they intended to do. So you've had the country essentially being looted by the Tories for 14 years, where anything that, was a public body, public company, that sort of thing, something nationalised or whatever, was being sold off privately, and then, they were essentially profiting from it. So during the Tory period, all of our infrastructure's gone to absolute shit and all that sort of stuff. Stuff hasn't been invested in, and other stuff's essentially been bought off by, people. I'll put allegedly, in case I'm sued or whatever. They're not going to get any money out of me, are they? That's what we're going to get onto that. But yeah, so the Tories are awful, and now you had Labour that got elected essentially under the promise of fixing lots of these things, and what we've seen is just Labour are even fucking worse. They're doing all the same shit the Tories did, but they're incredibly incompetent to boot. So we're getting into this sort of issue where, again, there's no light at the end of the tunnel now. UK politics, I think, is fundamentally broken because the Tories and the Labour Party are essentially the same thing. What I mean by that is that although they do obviously have different policies they advertise, when it comes to what they actually do, both of them don't really do anything other than just stagnate the country, and it's almost like drama politics with them. It's not anything, real. So we've got this problem in that you have the Lib Dems as well that do relatively well, but again, I don't know what the Lib Dems stand for. They don't make it obvious. Their leader, Ed Davey, just does stuff where he does, like promotional things where he's jumping on a bungee cord or something on a roller coaster, not actual politics. So we're having all these problems in the UK with the main fundamental problem everybody has in the UK, and again, there's loads and loads of issues that go really deep, but it's that we're essentially overpopulated and we don't have the infrastructure for the population that's already here, and it's getting worse every year. So we have both a problem with illegal and legal immigration. And what I mean by that is that, if you went back 50 years ago or whatever, the illegal immigration was a good thing. It was people coming over here to do jobs that people over here either didn't want to do, didn't have the skills to do, things like that. So what that actually meant is that the immigrants that were coming here to work, and they were coming here to work in jobs that needed filling, which was great. That's good. That's what you want from immigration. What has happened since around the Tony Blair era, the previous Labour government, is they basically just opened the floodgates to anybody, regardless if they were skilled or not, were actually coming to do a job or not. And then you had lots of people that were, then needed housing, needed medical care and everything else, but they weren't necessarily improving the economy or, having everything. Again, that isn't applying to anybody that's, everybody that's come. I'm just saying that that's the thing that's happened. So what we've have is this thing where nobody my age can afford a house. I've got some friends that are renting, and basically they live paycheck to paycheck in a lot of stress just about surviving, paying for rent and things like that. And these are ones that have moved to much cheaper areas of the UK to live in as well. So, they're doing 40-hour weeks that, you're only able to do this as well if you've got a partner or you've got somebody who agrees to rent with you. So, you've essentially got a combined 80-hour, a week household, where nearly all their money is not going into savings or anything, it's going on rent. So you've either got that, or if you're lucky like me, that, I get on with my parents, I can pay affordable rent to my parents, because although my dad's a boomer, he actually knows that, my generation has been a bit fucked compared to them. The problem is that I can put money into savings, but the rate that the economy is getting screwed and the inflation is going up and everything else, and, price of just everyday goods is going up, you almost don't see a point in saving, especially when you look at how grim, this country is going down the track. So anything I want to try and save my money up for is just becoming unobtainium anyway, because of the price it's inflating at compared to the, rise in wages and everything else. So we've got this problem where, and this is before we even go into the healthcare system being completely broken and everything else, through it just being oversaturated. So we've got this really bad problem in the UK where people that would work are sort of demotivated from working in a sense, but we're constantly letting in people with essentially no skills, just letting them come in, and we've got lots of illegal immigrants coming in and everything else. And then you've got this problem that once you get these people into the economy, lots of them are basically just refusing to work or can't work or whatever else, and then they're just clogging up our benefit system. So that means more of your tax money is going to paying them to just sit there doing nothing. And the problem we've had with both the Tories and Labour don't want to fix this at all, but is that whenever there's a hard problem that they're elected to fix, they basically go, oh, that's a bit difficult, we're not going to do it now. Or we'll do a little token gesture and then we're not going to do it. So we've got this really, really bad situation in the UK where with mainstream politics, basically, no matter who you elect, they decide, oh, we can't be bothered to fix that. But what we are going to do is do a load of stuff you didn't elect us on the promise of doing. So far with Labour, and again, they're meant to be socialists and they're not socialists. Again, the British Workers' Party, whatever they're called, George Galloway's party, they're the only real socialists. What Labour's done is basically have done a disastrous budget so far, which has made our economy even worse. But then they've decided to freeze the elderly by cutting off their winter fuel benefits. They've gone after farmers, they've gone after lots of groups of people that, contribute to the economy and everything else. So they've angered all these groups, and now apparently because the economy is so fucked, they're also now going to start penalising the disabled. So they're going to say to disabled people, oh, we're going to actually have to start taking some of your disability benefits away that, you need to survive. Wow, because we fucked the economy, but haha, isn't that funny? So again, Labour a disaster, and the people I really, really hate the ones that, again, not proper socialists, because, again, if you're a socialist and voted for Labour, you're just as horrified of what they've done. But the people who claim to be socialists or whatever, that keep going, oh, it's the right-wing press bringing them down, Labour are doing a great job. And these are the people that, apparently think Labour are helping the poor people and everything, or disingenuously saying that when... in reality, Labour are probably helping their rich mates, same as the Tories. And we've had corruption after corruption thing with Labour as well, where they promised to be different coming in. And, there's been so many dodgy stories come out. It's unreal about them. And again, like I said, I hate the Tories as well. This isn't me going, oh, well, the Tories are misjudged and everything. No, it's not. It's that both these parties are the exact same thing with a different coat of paint on them. So I don't know what else to say, really, because like I said, this is just how bad the UK is. Again, I don't want to get into should you vote reform or whatever else. I'm not in a position to say if that's a good thing or not. What I am saying is that if you're wondering from people outside the UK or you're in the UK why our system is so bad, it's because all the mainstream politicians for the last 14 years, and there's no sign of it getting better at all, it looks like it's going to get worse, are all doing the exact same thing. They're just smash and grabbing the economy, basically. They're just, looting everything, whatever they want to do, and then we're the people that have to put up with it. And again, it doesn't look like it's getting better, it looks like it's getting worse. So, the UK isn't going to improve, so no wonder any, young person with aspirations wants to leave this country. This place is like on life support, and it's getting worse by the day. So there you go. This is a grim video from me, nothing to do with army surplus or whatever, just to do with our awful government. But hopefully maybe if you're outside the UK, this has explained a bit to you why the UK is so awful.